impact.
All right. Hello, everyone. You know me. I'm Matthew Ma with Impact Condo Investments. I'm here in Calgary at Evanston. This is my partner, Cindy. She's a killer sales rep here in Calgary. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about the market and what's going on. Cindy, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good. I'm really good. How are you, Matt?
Doing great. Doing great. I'm glad to be here in Calgary. And I'm looking forward to having some great food later. Actually, Calgary has lots of great restaurants.
Yeah, we actually do. We have Major Tom's that's actually on Canada's top 100 list, which is really great. Calgary has become a lot more versatile in the last few years, and there's a lot of different cultures of food that you can really enjoy here.
Yeah, last night we had Orchard, which is Mediterranean, really good, very foodie. Their grilled eggplant was excellent. Crazy Weeds was always one for me on the way to Banff.
Love that one. Yeah, that one's a really good brunch spot.
Right, so I love coming to Calgary. Lots of great food, many options.
Yeah.
Even the multiculturalism, Northwest, it's like the Markham in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of great Asian food. T&T's down the street.
Yep.
Indian, tons, so many.
Yeah.
Lots of great.
We've chatted about it before. Panorama, Evanston, this area, they had recently opened up Golden Jade, which is your own dim sum restaurant within a community, which is unheard of in Calgary.
Yeah.
Really great restaurant, really good food. There's a lot of new things that are popping up around Calgary. There's Mr. Chen's that just opened up. Prickett Richard, if you're really into cocktails. There's a lot of really great locations here in Calgary. I find that our nightlife is really growing in the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was actually surprised when I came. The Chinese food here, it actually rivals Markham. And people in Toronto can never believe that. But I'm like, let me bring you. When true enough, our buddy who deals with Red Haven with me, Jason, he's like, it does. Dim sum here rivals Markham.
We actually had a Hong Kong dim sum chef that actually migrated over here. He was originally opening up restaurants in Vancouver, and he recently opened up Golden Sands. That's right off of McKnight here in Calgary. Very delicate. It's very beautiful. They have like swans. There's like some dim sum. They do put a lot of effort in what they're doing now. And Calgary's very multicultural. I know my family has been here for over 20 years. And we came from Vancouver. So we're very used to like the Asian food culture. And it's definitely grown quite a bit in the last few years.
Oh, yeah. First time I came to Calgary, it was basically January 21, and nothing was happening yet. You guys just passed the bylaw in July of 2020 to reduce incorporation income tax. Lots of great tech companies announced, including Google, Amazon. Google's increasing their footprint to 5,000 employees from 300. Amazon, I believe, is building their largest distribution center in North America right here. So there's a lot of new tech jobs, and Calgary's really pivoting away from just oil and gas.
And the nice thing about here, Calgary, is we now understand that oil and gas is not the only thing that can drive us. So they've also diversified in the energy sector quite a bit as well. So there's a lot more job opportunities here. Like you said, the tech industry is booming right now. We're actually on the top tech sector list right now. We're number 3 in Canada, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, behind Vancouver and Toronto.
Yeah.
So we're definitely growing, and we see it in the Vancouverites and Torontonians that are migrating over to our city because we're so close to the mountains. You have some of the best skiing, snowboarding in the world right at your doorstep. You go to Banff, hiking trails. Our temperatures are not as cold as what everybody thinks. No. Everybody thinks that we live in this frozen tundra, but we definitely do not. We get 333 days of sunshine a year here, and we're called a Chinook City. And I know me and you have chatted about it before, and a Chinook City, what that actually means is because we're located in between mountains, we get these warm gusts of wind that hit us during winter, and it breaks up our winter quite a bit because everyone just thinks that we're minus 40 all the time.
Yeah.
But I've lived in our winter for 20 years, and more often than not, it would be minus 20, 25 one week, and then it goes to like plus 10 in another. Yeah. So those are the winters that I can deal with.
Crazy, yeah, because I've heard that too, and I've never been here. Like, I'm here once every month and a half, and I've never been here when it was past minus 20. So it's actually been pretty mild. In fact, the summers here, I was told initially when I bought this house that you don't need AC because the average temperature is 21 degrees in summer. That's not true anymore, is it?
Not as much
I would
anymore.
say like you're closing up to 26
as an
at
average,
least for 30 days in the summer.
Yeah.
So, definitely need to install AC for next year for this place. But man, has things changed a lot. I think we sell lots of real estate here in Calgary. We went to many of the builder sites today. The prices are just astronomical. I remember I bought this at Evanston from Street Side. It's a corner 3-bedroom townhouse, 1,350 square feet, 2-car tandem for $320,000. Today, how much is that worth, Cindy?
Minimum, if you're looking at something of this size and this caliber, you're probably looking in the mid 400s, if that. And like Evanston is a premium location. It's a Northwest community. A lot of people seek out these communities, and even on lesser well-known areas, they're already in the mid 400s. So Evanston, I know with Street Side, if you were to buy something just slightly bigger, you're looking at 490, 500. Most single family homes in this area are in the 600-700s now. Things have definitely evolved a lot since you initially came here to Calgary for years. Yeah,
exactly. And just beside here, there's an up and coming neighborhood, literally like a minute drive. Ambleton, right?
Yeah, boutique size community. There's not a lot coming there, but it's very close to all the things that we love and like adore from this area. It's a quieter neighborhood. There's parks, there's pathways. There is a brand new development with Street Side that's coming in the next couple of months, which is really great. Similar to what you own here, townhomes, most likely starting in the mid to low 400s, I would assume. So
yeah, and we were just there a couple of days ago. We checked out Trico Homes. We also checked out Shane, and they had detached homes starting in 750. Beautiful finishes, and that's a steal because in Toronto, what you're looking at is a 1-bedroom in downtown Toronto. Obviously, in the outskirts in Mississauga, Oakville, even Markham, Richmond Hill, for 750, you're looking at a 1+ den. So to get into a detached range in our burbs, 20 minutes from the core, you're looking at $1 million, right? There's a lot of value, and probably why Calgary is so successful, because it has a mixture of ingredients now with different kinds of jobs, a lot of exterior life in terms of hiking, as well as winter sports, skiing, snowboarding. You have a great city, lots of great restaurants. We have Harmony opening up just 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
Yes, I know.
So excited.
So much coming to Harmony. They have the Michelson Golf Course. They have Launchpad. They have their lake. They have the Nordic Spa opening up over there. It's definitely something that Calgary hasn't really seen before, because this is very resort style living.
Yes.
And it's super peaceful there. And the homes are stunning.
And you can get a beautiful, well-appointed gas range townhome for like $650K, done to the nines.
Yeah.
Hardwood flooring, you have finished basement. You're 20 minutes from downtown Calgary, and rent is high. You have a high-ranking school which trains Olympic athletes, which a lot of families want to move there. Definitely huge investor proposal there because of the short-term rentals due to Nordic Spa, the golf course. They run Ironmans there. There's also a small airport there.
Yeah, the Springbank Airport. I actually took my husband flying there for his 30th birthday. And that was a super cool experience that you get to do in Calgary for a fraction of the price that you would potentially have to pay in Toronto. And one of the greatest things about Harmony, I personally think, is the fact that, yes, it's very Airbnb, but they also have these big clubhouses that people will be hosting big weddings, because Calgary lacks a lot of really nice wedding venues.
You're right.
So for Airbnb aspect, why wouldn't you want to rent a townhome or like a bigger one of those Harmony Parks? They have their street towns that don't have any condo fees, and it's a 3-car garage. It's a bigger home. You and your family can go there, stay there while you're going to attend a wedding, and then go hit the course end of your weekend. I think that's perfect.
I think it's a perfect community. 2 huge lakes with brown trout. You can do lots of water sports, and it's just a stone throw away from downtown Calgary. Now, we just finished up at University District. That's come a long way. I've been there 2 years ago to what it is now. You're talking about premium features and finishes, waterfall countertops. We work with some of the greatest developers there, Rohit, as well as Homes by Avi, and definitely your clientele, your resale clientele, your tenant pool there is a higher, more affluent individual, because you have 2 hospitals, you got doctors, nurses, you have the university, obviously, with professors. So I'm really excited for that one. We're looking at beautiful 10-foot ceilings, 1+ dens, and they're starting at $479.
Yeah.
In Toronto, you can barely buy a studio in the outskirts for that price. Calgary, I think, to me, it's like up and coming, almost like a blue chip stock that has a huge potential, but it hasn't got there yet. Whereas Toronto, I feel it has a lot of the ingredients and it's a tried and true kind of city, and you see it with consistent 7% growth for the last 24 years. Now, Calgary recently changed and we're seeing exponential growth recently. A lot of people say that there's a bubble. What do you think about the bubble in Calgary?
See, a lot of times people think that Calgary is in this bubble because of the fact that we've gone through a few bubbles in Calgary because oil prices go up and then our housing bubble goes up. But a lot of times, like when people are thinking about Calgary, they don't realize that our quote unquote bubble that we're currently in is not just caused by oil and gas. Yes, oil prices are really high right now, but you're also forgetting that we had 110,000 immigrants move to Calgary last year.
Crazy.
We're in Q1, we had about 53,000 people migrate to Calgary, interprovincial migration and immigrants. We don't have the ability to actually house everyone as quickly. We have a less than 1% vacancy rate across Calgary right now.
Crazy.
And our rental prices have skyrocketed about 32% since last year.
Wow.
So when you look at it like that, our bubble isn't going anywhere anytime soon because everybody's still migrating over here. Housing prices in Vancouver, housing prices in Toronto, it's just not feasible for young people to live there anymore. Whereas like here, if you go a little bit outside of the downtown core, you can get a lot for what your money is bringing in.
Yeah, you're right.
And I, for one, like I've lived here for over 20 years. I've lived in Vancouver. I've been to Toronto. The lifestyles are very different, but our Calgary's a little bit more chillax, like very nature focused, and people like their space. And not saying downtown Calgary isn't something that you shouldn't invest in, you 100% should, because you're not going to be able to get that kind of pricing in any downtown anywhere else.
No, it's for a limited time, right?
Exactly.
Like downtown Calgary is coming back slower than Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. I think it's going to come with a roar because for the longest time, there's almost like a stigma with the locals here in Calgary that downtown, the condos ain't going anywhere because the jobs, they're not forcing people back. There's a lot of vacancy in the offices. But correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of that office space has now been signed up and taken.
Yes, and people have also converted some of those downtown office spaces into condominium buildings, and they're fully leased up. It really just depends. And also, when you're downtown, you get to capitalize on the Airbnb market for the Calgary Stampede, which is one of like our biggest music festivals and like events in Calgary. We have people coming from worldwide, and when they're renting up our Airbnbs, our hotels, there's no vacancy.
Oh yeah, I know. It's our second summer running Airbnb in Calgary, and July, it's literally 3.5 times the price that we can get. And it basically runs for the last few months because the prices are just astronomical. People are willing to pay $800 a night on a Saturday for like a one bed because they can't get anywhere else.
They cannot get anywhere else. Our hotels are booked up a year in advance for the Stampede. It's our 10 days of thunder. We have musicians from all over the world coming in. We have music genres like country, rock and roll. We have EDM, like pretty much anything that you would potentially like to be at is happening during the Stampede. And it brings in so much money into Calgary during those times as well. So
now that I come to Calgary more often, I really do see the potential as a world-class city. And I think in real estate investment, that's what you want to see in a place you want to live. It's where you want to be. And it's really just a mini Toronto just set back 30 years, right? So it definitely has a lot of those great components. And I think in years to come, these investment properties are going to go to a point where all the detaches will for sure be over $1 million. And the towns are going to be right behind them. In fact, we just passed some nice detaches going up the hill close to Theodore. Those were like $4 million. Right? And great view of the city, obviously modern, nicer, bigger, but already in Calgary, those exist, right?
Oh, easily. There was a hockey player who owned a property that's slightly outside of the city. That's a $13 million home. It is a brick house here in Calgary. And like the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that we actually have the most millionaires in Calgary just because we have a lot of oil and gas. Like I know Toronto, you have the billionaire row, but we have a decent amount of millionaires here in Calgary. So a lot of times people just think that, oh, like Calgary is a small town, but we're definitely not. We're a growing metropolitan city. And a lot of people are seeing that and coming here and opening up big box stores. They're opening up big restaurant chains. And it's definitely evolving in the last few years. And I'm really loving how Calgary is changing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Me too. I think that's all we got for today, but it's awesome having you on this. And we're going to chat a little bit more next time. And we'll give a little bit more insight for impact in Ontario and in Alberta.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Cindy.
Yeah. Thanks for coming and flying all the way over here.
Anytime. Anytime. Thanks for hosting.
Awesome.
All right. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Impact.